Good morning, everyone. As we begin today's ceremony, please join us in honoring our nation with the playing of the national anthem.
Good morning, graduates, faculty, staff, family, and friends. I'm Tracy Lee, president of Sonoran Desert Institute. It's a pleasure to welcome you to the Spring 2025 graduation ceremony, honoring our graduates who completed programs between July and December of 2024. Today we celebrate not only your academic accomplishments, but also your future as innovators in uncrewed technology and firearms technology. Each of you is equipped to shape the future of these industries. As you transition from students to professionals, the skills and knowledge you've gained at SDI empower you to introduce and influence change. We have a great program ahead, including insights from a distinguished speaker. Following that, we'll recognize your academic achievements. Now, I'll turn things over to Jared McNeely, our Chief Academic Officer, to continue with our ceremony.
Hello, SDI graduates. Congratulations on reaching this significant milestone. Your journey to this day has been marked by perseverance and dedication, balancing education with life's many responsibilities. Whether it was studying late at night after your children were asleep, squeezing in sessions between military duties, or during breaks at work, you've shown remarkable commitment. Education is a treasure that once earned remains yours forever. So first and foremost, well done on achieving this goal. Graduates of our firearms programs, welcome now to an amazing industry. Reflecting on my own experiences starting in this trade, I am excited for the opportunities that await you. This is a field rich with tradition and yet at the forefront of innovation, and there is no better time to be part of it. For our graduates entering the uncrewed industry, we are so excited to watch you shape this ever-evolving field. We are just beginning to see the true impact of uncrewed technologies on a wide variety of industries. And this is an amazing example of how education can be used to soar to new heights in exciting ways. As we look ahead, remember that the skills you've acquired are the foundation of your future success. They require continual practice and application. I urge you to keep learning, keep growing, and contribute to our industries that has shown resilience through all challenges. We are in a period of change where politics and regulations often spotlight our industries. Your education equips you to contribute positively and ensure our fields not only endure, but thrive. I look forward to hearing about your achievements as you explore and push the boundaries of these specialized fields. Congratulations once again, SDI graduates. I am now pleased to welcome our keynote speaker. As always, these individuals bring great value and perspective to our current industries. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our keynote speaker.
Hello, graduates, faculty, family, and friends. My name is Matt Dunleavy, and I'm the founder of several successful UAS companies. It is an absolute honor to stand before you today and celebrate this incredible milestone in your journey. You have dedicated yourselves to mastering your craft, pushing the boundaries of knowledge, and preparing for careers that will shape the future of technology, defense, and innovation. I remember standing in your shoes not too long ago, filled with excitement, anticipation, and yes, even a little nervousness about what the future would bring. But if there's one thing I've learned in my own career, it's that the future is built by those who are willing to take flight and take aim. And what incredible industries you're entering. The worlds of uncrewed aircraft systems and firearms technology are expanding and converging faster than ever. The technologies we once saw in science fiction are now a reality, changing the way we work, protect, and explore our world. The industries you're entering are more than just careers. They're revolutions, from defense applications that enhance national security to commercial solutions transforming agriculture, infrastructure, and emergency response. UAS and firearms technologies are redefining the limits of what's possible. In just the past year alone, we've seen autonomous systems improve wildfire detection, aid in search and rescue missions, and even deliver medical supplies to remote locations. The military also is adopting advanced ISR, or intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance platforms, and AI-driven autonomy is reshaping everything about aviation. At the same time, firearms technology is evolving with cutting-edge advancements in gunsmithing, ballistics, and personal defense. Graduates from SDI's firearms technology programs are entering a field with limitless potential. Whether supporting law enforcement, the military, competitive shooting, or civilian markets, your expertise will be in extremely high demand. And the best part, we are just getting started. The global demand for skilled professionals in these fields is skyrocketing. And that's both established industry giants and emerging startups who are looking for minds such as yours to push the envelope with innovation and drive these industries forward. Whether you want to be a UAS pilot, an engineer, a policy expert, a firearms manufacturer, an entrepreneur, or literally anything in between, there has never been a better time to enter these fields. Now, I want to share a few lessons from my own journey. Lessons I wish someone had told me when I was starting out. The first is stay hungry. The UAS and firearms technology landscapes are evolving at lightning speed. The technology you mastered yesterday might be obsolete tomorrow. So keep learning, keep questioning, and stay ahead of the curve. Second, be fearless, even in failure. Some of my own greatest successes came from moments of true failure. Every setback, if you let it be, is a lesson. And every challenge is an opportunity. So don't be afraid to take risks. Third, build relationships. The best things in life truly are free, including your network. These industries are built on innovation, but they thrive in collaboration with others. The connections you make today with your professors, classmates, and mentors will be invaluable throughout your entire career. Lastly, find your purpose. Whether you're designing next-generation surveillance drones or pioneering new applications in firearms technology, make sure your work is meaningful to you. Your passion will fuel your success. Graduates, as you step into the next chapter of your lives, remember this: you are entering an era of endless possibilities. The world needs your talent, your vision, and your bold ideas. The skies are wide open, the future is unwritten, and you, absolutely yes, you are the ones who will define what comes next. So go out there, take flight, take aim, and never stop pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Congratulations again to SDI's newest graduating class, and let's get to it.
Faculty, family, friends, and fellow SDI graduates, my name is Aaron Matan. It's an honor to be here today and reflect on this incredible milestone with you all. As I look back on this journey, I am reminded that success is rarely a solo achievement. It's built on the support of mentors, the encouragement of loved ones, and the lessons we learn along the way. For me, success has never been about reaching a destination. It's about the growth we experience through challenges and the impact we have on others. My journey has been guided by two defining passions: purpose and leadership. As a proud member of the armed forces, my military career has taught me the importance of readiness, responsibility, and the value of being prepared for any challenge. My time in Afghanistan reinforced a belief that I carry to this very day. Awareness and accountability are the foundations of meaningful action. When I returned home, I had the privilege of continuing my training through the Army's leadership program. There I was honored as a distinguished graduate of the Commandant's List. This experience reaffirmed my belief in the power of devotion to a community and strengthened my desire to offer my perspectives to the civilian sector. That same inspiration brought me to the Sonoran Desert Institute. There I was able to combine my technical skills and combat experience with a deeper understanding of firearms technology and safety education. SDI became more than just a school. It was a catalyst for the next chapter of my life as an entrepreneur. I identified a gap in the firearms industry: accessible and personalized training for new firearm owners. That realization motivated me to found a Force Multiplier Solutions LLC, a company dedicated to bridging that very gap. At FMS, my mission is to provide education and training that empowers people no matter their background or skill level. Starting a business has been one of the most challenging and rewarding experiences of my life, and it has redefined my understanding of success. Success is not just about personal achievement. It's about creating opportunities for others and making a lasting impact in your community. To SDI's newest graduating class, each of us has a unique story that brought us here. Some of us were looking for a fresh start, others to deepen a passion or refine a craft. But all of us leave with something powerful: an education that equips us to shape the future in our own way. As you move forward, I challenge you to embrace your entrepreneurial spirit, whatever form it takes. Use the skills and knowledge you've gained not just to build a career, but to serve and uplift those around you. To the faculty, mentors, and supporters who believed in us, thank you for guiding us, challenging us, and preparing us for what lies ahead. I am especially grateful to all who nominated me for the Outstanding Graduate Award. It is humbling to know that my journey has resonated with others. To my family and friends, your unwavering support has been my foundation. Without you, none of this would have been possible, and I am deeply grateful for your encouragement and love. Finally, to my fellow SDI alumni, we have faced obstacles, grown through challenges, and achieved something truly meaningful. Let today be a celebration of what we've accomplished, but also a call to action for what comes next. The knowledge and skills we've gained are more than just tools. They are responsibilities. We have the power to lead, innovate, and create positive change in our industries and communities. Let's move forward boldly, driven by purpose and guided by the way you define success. Congratulations and Godspeed.
We now arrive at the much anticipated moment, the presentation of our July through December 2024 graduates. Let's begin with the graduates of our Certificate of Unmanned Technology Aerial Systems. These graduates have developed proficiency in drone operation and management, equipping them for valuable roles in industries that utilize this dynamic technology. Their skills in the aerial systems are crucial for advancing innovation and improving operational efficiencies. We are proud to present the following graduates of the Certificate of Unmanned Technology Aerial Systems.
Robbie Adams, Tilton Adams, Daniel Allen, Elijah Allen, Eric Allen, Tommy Allen, Derek Amsden, Chris Anderson, James Anderson, Matthew Anthony, Zachary Arneson, Kewen Augustin, Zachary Avery, Raymond Ayala, Joseph Baker, Gary Baldry, John Barry, Billy Beach, Betty Beardsley, Matthew Beatty, William Beckman, Jacob Bennett, Thomas Binder, Jeffrey Blom, David Boatwright, Jason Bobo, Jean Bonardin, Concordio Borja, Adam Bowman, Corey Brailsford, Blake Brandenburg, Daniel Brennan, Christopher Bryan, Eric Burris, Eric Campbell, Gabriel Cantu, Brittany Cardoza, Sean Carney, Charles Carroll, Mark Carroll, Alfredo Cespedes, Jody Chambers, Mario Chavez, Tyler Claffey, Billy Cole, Justin Collins, Ralph Condit, Timothy Connor, Robert Cook, Austin Copeland, Anthony Crawford, Ryan Crow, Carlos Estevan Cruz, Michael Cruz, Brandon DeForest, Ernesto DePina, Matthew DeVicus, Matthew DeVoe, Nathaniel DeVore, Jimmy Duncan, David Dunn, Brandon Durance, John Eguan, Joseph Elliott, Brian Ellis, John Ellis, Ivan English, Daniel Fernandez, Travis Fitchner, Nathan Foltz, Joseph Forsgren, Shane Forsgren, Michael Fowler, Caleb Friesen, Daniel Frogal, Thomas Fromer, Benito Galoza, Jorge Galvin, Jacob Gambino, Rocky Gann, Eduardo Gardner, Sean Gear, M.I. George, Raymond Glastetter, Andrew Good, Tammy Gordert, Philip Grauer, Johnny Green, Peter Guglielmo, Avery Hall, Jarrett Hall, Matthew Hansen, Jesse Harp, Michael Harris, Wayne Harris, David Hearn, Jeremy Hicks, William Herholzer, Jacob Higgins, Mark Hoffman, Caden Horn, Tyler Jack, Robert Jackson, Edward Jank, Adam Joe, Tyler Johnson, Thanos Jones, Jeffrey Justice, Quentin Carroll, Trevor Kegley, Zachary Kennedy, Joshua Ketchum, Jason Kolarick, Alan Krager, Dylan Chrysler, Cody Lance, James Ledka, Tyler Lonkar, Amos Long, Lance Long, Ray Loriot, Roy Lohman, Dakota Lowry, James Mangan, David Martinez, Benjamin McDermott, James McDonald, Cornelius McLean, Dakota McWilliams, Chadwick Meeks, Jonathan Milichichi, Christopher Miller, Mark Miller, Lisette Mojica, Marcelino Monroy, Dominique Moore, Jesse Moretz, Eric Mullen, Patrick Muncy, Justin Murdoch, Anthony Murphy, Michael Murray, Andrew Nance, Joshua Neal, Kenneth Newing, Timothy Noble, Ryan O'Donnell, Alejandra Origel, Mark Osborne, Ethan Overholser, Seth Pardue, Jasper Patterson, Jason Pedigo, Samuel Peninuri, Alan Flugg, Taryn Pirelli, Travis Pitch, Matthew Prisgant, Nicholas Pulver, Eston Ramirez, Tanner Ray, Jason Reber, Tristan Reinhardt, Luis Rivera Velez, Joshua Robbins, Brandon Robles, Noelia Negron Roman, William Rutch, Cody Russell, Russell Sabine, Steven Salazar, Joshua Savage, Brian Skirse, Robert Schmidt, Clayton Shaw, Malcolm Shaw, Daniel Shoemaker, Gary Shuck, Peyton Seibert, Casey Simon, Stephen Slayman, Jason Smith, Philip Soto, Earl Sprout, Travis Strider, Benjamin Strutchko, Heng Sun, Richard Sweet, Tristan Tabayoyan, Donald Teal, Christopher Thompson, Robert Thompson, Matthew Tolliver, Colby Tuttle, Alan Van Marder, Nathaniel Van Zant, Garrett Vaughn, Alberto Vicens, Michael Vitus, Jesus Vigil, Luis Villasenor, Brian Wadsworth, Alexander Watson, Cody Whitaker, Tykevius Weidman, Christopher Williams, Ty Williams, Eric Williamson, Patrick Wolf, Robert Wood, Leroy Woodall, Samuel Workman, Ben Wojvodich,
Next, we are excited to present the graduates of SDI's Certificate in Firearms Technology Handgun Specialist Program. This program provides specialized training in handgun maintenance, troubleshooting, and customization. Our graduates are now trained, skilled, and ready to contribute to the firearms industry with precision and knowledge in handgun technologies. We proudly present the following graduates of the Certificate in Firearms Technology Handgun Specialist.
Hayden Abendroth, Aaron Adams, James Adams, Justin Akins, James Alessandrini, Thomas Alicia, Eric Allen, Robert Allen, Roland Almos, Corey Amos, Lonnie Anders, Braithen Anderson, Leo Andrade, Cody Angevine, Jeffrey Anson, Joshua Appenfeld, James Arntz, Francesco Artuso, Mason Asbury, Alexander Ashcraft, Denzel Osborne, Aaron Austin, Jesus Ayala, Raymond Baldwin, Christian Ballinger, Cody Barnett, Marcus Barone, Jason Barth, William Benjamin, Stephen Bent, Devin Berry, Jedediah Bigler, Brandon Bingaman, Albert Bishop, Lauren Bishop, Gage Blackheart, Jonathan Blackman, Michael Borner, Floyd Borden, Norman Boulay, Stephen Bowen, Austin Boyer, Chance Boyle, Nicholas Brack, Jonathan Brewer, Jonathan Brooks, Aaron Brown, Dustin Lee Broyard, Tyler Buxa, Clinton Bunch, Kevin Burrick, Sean Calhoun, Jonathan Callender, Andrew Campbell, Bjorn Carter, David Carrington, Lynette Carr Rivera, Thomas Carver, Garrett Case, Alfonso Castropena, Michael Chapman, Antonino Chavari, Casey Clark, Danny Clark, Joseph Clausen, Charles Coleman, Joseph Collins, David Connor, Alan Conray, Anthony Costanzo, Drew Cotton, Derek Corvell, Brian Cox, Todd Crimmins, Kent Crosley, Christopher Dabbs, James Davidson, Stephen Davidson, Danny Davila, Cody Davis, Michael Dawson, Taylor DeClerc Paul, Devin DeHaven, Joshua Dembski, Jonathan Dick, David Dietrichs, James Dillback, Travis Dixon, Joshua Droud, Zachary Dubois, Nathaniel Duckstad, Devin Dunnigan, Roger Dye, Jeffrey Eckler, Andrew Eden, Clark Eichelberry, Brian Ellis, Logan Enriquez, Eric Erickson, Anthony Etheridge, Sean Farnsworth, Clay Farver, Colin Fingold, Jacob Finkel, Reason Fiorita, Alexander Fisher, Liam Fitzpatrick Riz, David Flessner, Jesse Floberg, James Flores, Benjamin Foreman, Jason Foster, Kyle Foster, Justin Freeman, Dustin Fulton, Kelly Gavin, Andrew Gibson, Christopher Glencoe, Augustine Gonzalez, Luke Gonzalez, Thomas Gow, Sean Gray, Dennis Green, Johnny Green, Scott Green, Benjamin Gregor, Nicholas Greist, William Grimes, Joseph Gutler, Jason Hallam, Travis Harker, Matthew Harrell, Jake Harris, James Harris, Jack Hotala, Richard Haynes, Andrew Hendrickson, Jesse Hendricks, Matthew Henson, Andrew Herbert, Heriberto Hernandez, James Herr, Charles Herring, William Hershaw, Daniel Hirschberger, Robert Henkel, Carson Hitchens, Victor Holbrook, Peyton Holland, Craig Hoover, Joshua Horton, Justin Hauser, Alex Howard, Brian Hulse, Christopher Hutchings, Joseph Hyatt, Renee James, Angel Jimenez, James Jinks, Adam Joe, Joshua Johnson, Lafayette Johnson, Nathan Johnson, Paul Johnson, Paxton Johnson, Wesley Johnson, Christopher Jones, Michael Jones, Michael Keane, Jennifer Kelly, Chase Kent, Chase Kinder, Keegan Kinney, Zachary Kaiser, Scott Kittredge, Joshua Kling, Christopher Klinger, Jared Nearium, Taylor Knowles, Christopher Knudsen, Michael Koch, Patrick Cohen, Ian Korzenok, Michael Kostishin, Brian Kroll, Benjamin Cruz, Amadeus Kaczynski, Benjamin Lake, Kenneth Langley, Jeffrey Lashley, Keeson Lasley, Tyler Lavery, Jacob Leach, Aiden Ladie, Bradley Lee, Dustin Lee, William Leadham, Charles Legg, Scott Leonard, Dakota Lewis, Dwayne Ligon Lindsay, Jason Lilly, Lance Long, Jose Lopez, Roy Lohman, Jason Lucas, David Luna Rosario, Chase Mabau, Christopher Mack, Eric McNeil, Curtis Madden, Adam Magnuson, Daniel Mann, John Maples, Kenneth Marino Goodman, Isaiah Marone, Frank Martin, Richard Martin, Gary Martz, James Matherly, Curtis Mattingly, Devin Mayer, Andrew Maynard, James McAllister, Philip McCaffrey, Ryan McCamey, Ryan McCormick, Kaylin McCauley, Eric McFarlane, Amos McGee, Jonathan McKeithen, Seth McQueen, Chadwick Meeks, Albert Melton, Mario Mendoza, Samuel Merkel, Jonathan Milichichi, David Miller, Denny Miller, Stephen Mills, Aaron Matan, Muhammad Ali, David Mooney, James Morphew, Jonathan Morris, Paul Mamau, Lloyd Maranaka, Justin Murdoch, Adrian Navarrete, Eric Nelson, Bradley Newsom, Jonathan Nichols, Perrin Nicholson, Gregory Nilgis, Thomas Nink, Kevin Nolan, Joseph Oakley, Jonathan Olkers, Marcus Olliger, Andrew Olson, Brett Orey, Jason Osler, Nicholas Osterman, Addison Owen, Richard Palkey, Seth Pardue, Andrew Parker, Terrence Parker, Gabriel Patnod, Gus Patrick, William Peabody, Norman Peaser, Royce Penner, Brandon Perkins, Justin Peterson, Boaz Phillip, Joseph Phillips, Heather Pierce, Randolph Pierce, Andrew Pearson, Ty Pittman, Christopher Plank, Trayvon Pointer, Shardarius Pope, Bradley Pora, Colton Porterfield, Gregory Powell, Nathan Preece, Eric Proper, Devin Pruitt, Nicholas Pulver, Lucas Quarters, Joseph Ramirez, Nicholas Randolph, Joe Rangel, Joseph Ralston, Kirk Reiner, Ron Reyna, Darius Rhodes, Matthew Richardson, James Ricard, Brandon Riley, Daniel Riley, William Ring, Timothy Reiser, Alexander Rivers, Luke Roberson, Otoniel Rodriguez, Gary Rogers, Gilberto Rosales, Harrison Rutherford, Samuel Sajovic, Jack Sand, Romel Santos, Gregory Schillis, Dustin Schnell, Dalton Shutter, Brandon Sebald, William Cease, Nicholas Segner, Ronald Schaefer, Andrew Sharp, Paul Sharp, Craig Shaw, James Shiflett, Dakota Shook, Gary Shuck, Miguel Sierra, Keith Sink, Dwayne Smith, Joshua Smith, Justin Smith, Mark Smith, Richard Smith, Tyler Smith, Landon Sparks, Justin Spisak, Stephen Stanley, Daniel Stark, Jarrett Stellan, Terry Sterner, Daniel Strahl, Patrick Strawbridge, Michael Sullivan, Larry Summons, Christian Sweet, Irvin Swopes, Callahan Tashin, Gabriel Taylor, George Taylor, Jackson Taylor, Kenneth Taylor, Zachary Taylor, Joseph Tennant, David Tice, Leonard Thivez, Jonathan Thomas, Timothy Thompson, Zachary Thompson, Xavier Torres, Terrence Toyama Mancoa, Brian Trapp, Anthony Trevino, Chadwick Turner, Douglas Unsifer, Kevin Valentine, Michael Vance, Sammy Van Kirk, Garrett Vaughn, Michael Venson, Thomas Walker, Yanni Walenda, Danny Walters, Jonathan Walton, Brandon Washington, John Waddles, Tyler Weatherly, Andrew Weaver, Jacob Welch, Ryan Wells, Michael Wheels, Justin Whitehead, Nathan Whitlow, George Wiggins, Michael Wilbur, Carl Wilderom, Matthew Wilkie, Damondrick Williams, Mark Williams, Winston Williams, Jebediah Wilsey, Stephen Wilmer, Michael Wilson, Nicholas Wing, Lonnie Wise, Matthew Wooden, Lathern Woods, Barry Worley, Daniel Wright, Zachary Wynn, Zachary Xavier, Jeffrey Yarder, Joseph Young, Brandon Zavala,
Next, we celebrate the graduates of our Certificate in Firearms Technology Gunsmithing program. This program has equipped these individuals with foundational skills in firearm maintenance, safety, and customization. Our graduates are prepared for various roles in the industry, whether advancing their careers or enhancing personal hobbies. We are proud to present the following graduates of the Certificate in Firearms Technology Gunsmithing.
David Adams, Adam Edelman, Alexander Agnew, Justin Aiken, Timothy Almestica, Joshua Alvarez, Jackie Ammons, Quentin Anderson, Brennan Agno, Matt Anslem, Kendall Anthony, Gilberto Antuna, Darius Armour, Zachary Arneson, Marcus Arriaga, Jonathan Arwood, Aaron Austin, Jesus Ayala, Douglas Babcock, Donald Bailey, Brian Baker, Spencer Ballard, Robert Ballantine, Lawrence Ballesteros, Brandon Balliet, Jordan Barajas, James Bartolucci, Anthony Basham, Dominic Bauer, Robert Baylor, Zachary Beatty, Andrew Beavers, Austin Beck, Jonathan Becker, Gregory Bell, James Bell, Adam Bennett, Stephen Bent, Joshua Benthal, Matthew Bergstresser, Brendan Bernath, Timothy Bernstein, Austin Bilderbeck, Devin Blair, Melvin Blake, Jared Blue, Troy Blue, Sam Bogler, David Bolt, Casey Boone, David Bowles, William Boyette, Robert Brennan, Cody Britt, Griffin Broom, Gaylord Brown, Nakaya Brown, Michael Brown Chavos, Matthew Browning, Derek Bruns, Shabazz Bryant, Jonathan Bumbalo, Richard Bunderson, Christopher Burnett, Brian Burns, Marcus Burwell, Alec Bush, Dustin Butcher, Jamar Collier, Kamadanico Calloway, Kyle Campbell, Justin Carl, Samuel Carr, Given Kurila Koira, Colton Carter, Eduardo Castillejo, Matthew Castro, Rafael Cedillo, Anthony Sarasaro, Thomas Cheney, Matthew Chappelle, Chanthoral Chem, Josiah Chilton, Lorenzo Chow, Joshua Kismowski, Christopher Clark, Max Clark, James Clayton, Jacob Clement, Alan Coder, Aidan Coggins, Roy Coleman, Ryan Coleman, Zachary Coleman, Joshua Coles, Timothy Collins, Kelly Colton, Talon Connor, David Cook, Michael Cook, Timothy Cooley, Joshua Corey, Trent Cornforth, Dimitri Koda, Christian Cox, Owen Kraft, Alexander Craig, Brandon Craig, Christian Crawford, Garrett Kressler, Joseph Crooks, Jonathan Cross, Jonathan Krauthamel, Dean Cruz, Jesus Cobero, Mario Cuellar, Fausto Cuevas Medina, Luke Kernut, Noah Cutting, Lorenzo de Villagreen, John De Santiago, Joshua Dean, Moises de Leon, Sean Denham, Darius Denson, Quentin Dio, Jason D. Rubis, Jonathan Deo, Juan Diaz, Brandy Dingus, Luke Dixon, Travis Dixon, David Donnell, Daniel Drake, Kyle Drake, David Dumas, Kalani Dunn, Jason Dutra, Harley Dye, Mason Emiston, Bradley Edwards, Clark Eichelberry, Lamas L, Justin Elam, Christopher Elder, Ashley Elmore, Mark Elsey, Nicholas Emery, Tyler England, Austin Erickson, Renee Esparza, Jason Esslinger, Christopher Estes, Kyle Eder, Christopher Follett, Patrick Fallone, Gilbert Felix, Tyler Ferguson, Christopher Fernandez, Oliver Fessler, Aidan Finley, Nathan Fight, Cameron Fleetwood, James Florsack, Ricky Floyd Jr., Jordan Flynn, Anthony Ford, Austin Fontaine, Ryan Fowler, Seth Frazier, Daniel Freeman, Sean Fudge, Trevor Fugate, Roland Fulbright, John Fulmer, Isaac Gallant, David Garcia, Miles Garrett, Alex Garrison, Reese Garrison, Ryan Gear, William Gibson, Samuel Gibbon, Nathan Glaw, Jose Gomez, Ruben Gomez, Jason Gonzalez, Miguel Gonzalez, Zachary Gonzalez, Justin Gordon, Shane Gordon, Robert Gorski, Matthew Gravis, David Graham, Jason Graham, William Gray, Andre Green, Jeffrey Hahn, Anthony Hale, Alexander Hamad, Connor Hambley, Raymond Hamilton, Mitchell Handy, Tom Hanna, Ronald Hanna, Michael Hansen, D'Artagnan Harding, Michael Hargrave, Tyler Harland, Dwayne Harrell, Stuart Harrell, Devon Hart, Jacob Hartman, John Hartman, Jason Hartnett, Trevor Harvey, Richard Haynes, Trinity Haynes, Cody Herbert, Daniel Hirschberger, Jeremy Hess, Stephen Hill, Timothy Hill, Joshua Henson, Wilfred Hens, Bradley Hodson, Jesse Holland, Christopher Hopkins, William Hopkins, Brandon Hordos, Richard Horton, Wayne Hostrander, Tequan Hudson, Dylan Huff, Ira Huff, Charles Hughes, Stephen Hutron, Preston Hutchinson, Alexander Hutchison, Jacob Iverson, Andrew Jackson, Kyle Jansen, Mickey Jefferson, Samuel Jensen, Jacob Yench, Shane Jernigan, Bradley Jewsbury, Charles Jimenez, James Jinks, Tommy Johns, Joshua Johnson, Kevin Johnson, Paxton Johnson, Peter Johnson, Timothy Johnson, Charles Jolly, James Jones, Venice Jones II, David Jordan, Emmanuel Joshua, Ajith Kalutaraj, Dakota Kaufman, Michael Curse, Chad Keeler, Clayton Keller, Christopher King, Scott King, Dustin Kingseed, Vincent Kinsey, Philip Kirkland, Sean Kaiser, Kyle Klass, Matthew Klein, Michael Koch, Kyle Kolvek, Matthew Crotter, Colleen Kurtz, Kevin Kurzawa, Domenico Labandano, Michael LaCroix, Jacob Laser, Jason Lamb, Evan Laney, Timothy Langhart, Jeffrey Lashley, Cody Lawson, Kenneth Lale, Dennis Lizotte, Kenneth Lee, Deshanti Leonard, Devin Lewis, Spencer Lewis, Jason Lilly, Matthew Logston, Noah Longo, Brandon Lopez, Justin Lupin, Michael Lyon, Roy Lyon, Chase Mabau, Christopher Mack, Charlie McGee, John Maloney, Noah Marconet, Omar Marshall, Charles Martin, Cesar Martinez, Renee Martinez, Walter Andres, Rafael Martos, Carl Massey, Michael Matzinger, Jacob Matthews, Philip Mazes, Brandon McBride, Britt McBroom, Joseph McCarty, Colin McClure, Ryan McCord, Timothy McCormick, Timothy McCoy, Jasmine McCraw, Kaylin McCauley, James McDonald, DeQuante McDowell, Kyle McElroy, Zane McClendon, Brennan McShane, Robert Maleo, David Meneses, Samuel Merkel, Derek Merkley, Stephen Mercereau, Thomas Mercereau, Liam Matheny, Kelly Millark, Timothy Milnes, Christopher Mischel, Douglas Mongion, William Moody, Gilberto Morales, Francisco Moreno, Tegan Moreno, Jacob Morris, Mason Morris, David Mortz, Adam Mueller, Samuel Mugford, Sean Murphy, Jason Musser, Daniel Nagy, Eric Nelson, Justin Nelson, Antonio Nero, Susie Nguyen, Saul Nevis, Logan Nicholas, Danny Nero, Jason Nivens, Devin Nodland, Matthew Knoll, Tanner Knoll, Dylan Norgard, Daniel Nunez, Donald Nunley, Nicholas Oberl, Jonathan Okers, Kyle Omer, Akieto Oje, Connor O'Keefe, Garrett Ulfers, Michael O'Quinn, Victor Andrew Orduna, Benjamin Orr, Dalton Adi, Jacinto Oval, William Owens, Jimmy Pace, Travis Pacheco, Javier Padilla, Rolando Padilla, Xander Paradis Hatch, David Park, Benjamin Parker, Dylan Patterson, Billy Payne, Andrew Paragon, Christian Perez, Alan Perry, Cody Perry, Dylan Perry, Stephen Peterson, Christopher Phillips, Gloria Phillips, Aaron Piazza, Brandon Pierce, Keith Pinkard, Christopher Pollard, Coleman Ponce, Mark Ponthier, David Price, Douglas Price, Sabria Price, Tyler Prinsing, Chris Prusman, Max Prusman, Randall Pruitt, Taven Quigley, Pablo Quiros, Tanner Radke, Pedro Ramirez, Tyler Ramirez, Vinny Ramirez Campa, Felix Ramos, Michael Ranf, Dylan Rant, Joseph Rotten, Joseph Ralston, Jared Raymond, Alexander Reed, Joseph Reckert, Alexander Reed, Hans Ryers, Declan Rice, Matthew Richardson, Nicholas Rico, Danny Rigsby, Dwayne Robbins, Joshua Robbins, Benjamin Robinson, James Robinson, Nicholas Robinson, Raymond Rock, Jonathan Rowe, Corey Rombold, Brad Roper, Michael Ross, Samuel Rostifer, Jared Roundy, Robert Rowan, Dylan Runberg, Zachary Rush, Joshua Rusi, Keith Russo, Dakota Sacco, Joshua Sadler, Samuel Sajovic, Trey Salem, Marco Salinas, Anthony Sams, Philip Sandberg, Martin Sanders Martinez, Logan Sanders, Ross Scarcelletto, Colin Schaefer, Dylan Schroeder, Jordan Schultz, Zachary Schultz, Leland Schultz, Jason Schwen, Joseph Scruggs, Daniel Seaford, Corby Sebastian, Terry Self, Kyle Seng, Logan Seymour, Thomas Shanks, Micah Shaw, William Shaw, Brandon Shields, Jason Shirey, Anthony Shores, Matthew Showalter, Dylan Showman, Alexander Sierra, Miguel Sierra, Juan Sierra Lopez, Charles Sion, Adam Smith, Boyd Smith, Daniel Smith, Noah Smith, Royce Smith, Shane Smith, Thomas Smith, Corey Smyers, Lance Soderling, David Soto, Thomas Spicer, Corbin Spurlock, Alfred St. Andre, Robert Stanley, Andrew Stetcher, Seth Steelsmith, Jarrett Stellan, Michael Stevens, David Still, James Stiltner, Anthony Stone, Christopher Sturm, Peter Sullivan, Colton Sundine, Logan Swanson, Robert Sweetman, John Sward, James Sykes, Callahan Tashin, Justin Talarski, Trenton Talons, Brian Totkus, Joshua Taylor, Donovan Temple, Charles Thomas, Jonathan Thomas, Lane Thompson, Thomas Tillotson, Skylar Torres, Giovanni Tortolito, Isaac Tovar, John Tran, Brian Trapp, Jeremy Travis, Christopher Tucker, Elijah Tucker, Robert Tucker, Brian Tyler, Adam Vacone, James Volk, Christian Vance, Jesus Vasquez Reyes, Julio Vasquez Gonzalez, Joseph Villa, Randy Vo, Elias Wabshaw, Paul Walker, William Walker, John Wallen, Joshua Wangerin, John Ward, Skylar Wareham, Michael Warren, Leroy Watkins, David Watson, Christopher Wozni, Mason Webster, Michael Welch, Barrick Werner, Dakota White, Terrence White, Matthew Whitlock, Clarence Williams, Dalton Williams, Mark Williams, Matthew Williams, Nicholas Williams, Vincent Williams, Jashawn Wilson, Jacob Wilton, Stephen Worth, Shay Wood, Killian Woodward, Anthony Wright, Patrick Wright, Jeffrey Yarder, Alexander Young, Joseph Young, Frederick Yoon, Ryan Zimmerman.
Finally, we honor the graduates from our flagship program, the Associate of Science in Firearms Technology. This degree goes beyond basic firearm skills to include advanced coursework in woodworking, ballistics, and more, making it the highest credential offered by SDI. Our graduates emerge uniquely prepared for entry into the firearms industry. We proudly present the following graduates.
Mark Abdu, Robert Abshire, Kevin Adams, Jason Alberthal, Thomas Alicia, Caleb Alsop, Lonnie Anders, Ethan Anderson, Vincent Anderson, William Anderson, Jesse Andrews, Corey Engel, Jose Arroyo, Adam Avery, Curtis Bailey, April Baker, Micah Baker, Joseph Banks, Nicholas Banta, Talon Barber, Leslie Barnes, David Barrett, Jesse Bauer, Austin Beadle, Kyle Beckwith, Cody Bedingfield, Jason Ballinger, William Benjamin, Joseph Berg, Michael Burnquist, John Kindrell Barub, Mitchell Bavenauer, David Burchard, Gage Blackheart, Peter Blanco, Dale Bloss, Kedrick Bohannon, Wayne Bolenton, Dion Boney, Ross Boone, James Bauk, Darian Bradley, Jeffrey Brand, Charles Breckenridge, Brian Brink, Austin Brosiek, Christopher Brown, Clarence Brown, Taylor Brown, Cyrus Buckingham, Tyler Buxa, Jason Burchett, Jason Bushman, Delmer Bussell, William Bird, Connor Kodora, Jonathan Callender, Josh Cameron, Malachi Campbell, William Campbell, Bjorn Carter, James Cardillo, David Carroll, Matthew Carroll, Michael Cassis, Noah Castronovo, Alfonso Castro Pena, Stephen Cawley, Billy Chapman, Brandon Chapman, Antonio Chavez, Chester Sherrick, Ty Jeremiah, Justin Childress, Jonathan Choto Homing, Jesse Christensen, Christian Christofferson, Jacob Clark, Jeremy Clark, Noah Clark, Orrin Clark, Joshua Clatterbuck, John Clendenin, Theodore Coates, Ricky Collins, Seth Collins, Edwin Cologne, Manuel Cologne, Brendan Conniff, Alan Conray, Christopher Cook, Douglas Cook, Michael Cook, Damian Coombs, Michael Kordsman, Eric Cotton, Joshua Coughlin, Arturo Cruz, Sean Daly, Patrick Darby, Caston Darrell, Stephen Davidson, Brett Davis, Cody Davis, Kevin Davis, Merrill Davis, Stephen Davis, Taylor Davis, Michael Dawson, Rodney Day, Brendan Dean, Laura Delafield, Blake Del Colo, Michael DeLeon, Kevin Devine, Trey DeVos, Timothy DePaulo, Randall Dish, Clyde Dixon, Laron Dixon, Pedro Dominguez, Araceli Donaldson, Benjamin Dudek, Ryan Duggan, Keith Dumas, Cody Dunn, Sean Dunn, Aaron Dunsmore, Riley Dunton, Donovan Durham, Eugene Didasco, Philip Dias, Derek Earwood, Jeffrey Elkler, James Efford, Thomas Eggleston, Donald Elam, Trayson Ellis, Aaron Elster, James Ensley, Connor Enman, Edwin Eslava, Parker Etchison, Anthony Etheridge, David Etz, Colt Everett, Lathan Fan, Kyle Fennenbach, Cecil Ferris, Eric Felkowski, Matthew Fields, Nicholas Philbright, Vincent Finces, Joshua Fisher, Bradley Fight, David Flessner, Jason Flores, Daniel Focarino, Leo Fonseca, Walker Faust, Michael Fowler, Tyler Fratz, Joshua Frausto, Joseph Frazier, Justin Freer, Mark Friday, Kevin Frost, Michael Fuller, Savannah Gao, Juan Gallegos, Derek Garcia, Pierre Garcia, Ellie Geis, David Gibson, Spencer Gibson, Parker Gerard, Miles Glass Royal, Christopher Gleason, Nathan Glenn, Robert Goldenack, Blake Goldman, Guillermo Gonzalez, Christopher Gromley, Jeremy Gold, Jared Grassa, Joshua Grant, Daniel Green, Adam Griffin, Oscar Grisson, Andrew Grooms, Kurt Gwathney, Zachary Haffron, Jackson Hammers, Scott Harkleroad, Dallas Harlan, Chad Harrell, Matthew Harrell, Brandon Harris, Darren Harrison, Brandon Hartley, George Hayward, Joshua Heacock, Carson Hefner, Jesse Henderson, Dylan Henches, Corey Herbst, Zachary Heritage, Devin Hill, Jonathan Hill, Spencer Hisataki, Nicholas Hodges, Cody Hoffman, Daniel Hoffman, Noah Holiday, Brandon Holmes, Katrina Homer, Dylan Hoover, Gary Horn, Cody Hoyt, Devin Hubbard, Jonathan Hudgens, Azana Huffman, Christopher Hutchings, Theodore Herniak, Kyler ML, Darvel Ingram, Andrew Irons, Austin Jackson, Bryant Jackson, Kevin Jackson, Eric James, Ethan Jameson, Majnor Fils Jean-Louis, Martin Jenkins, Ethan Jenners, Jordan Jewett, Dakota Johnson, Jeremy Johnson, Joshua Johnson, Romeo Johnson, Stacy Johnson, Toby Johnson, Andrew Johnston, Jonathan Jones, Joshua Jones, Noel Jones, Philip Just, Richard Carroll, Philip Karstead, Andrew Kasparek, Michael Keane, Trevor Kegley, Matthew Keller, Matthew Kicklater, Austin King, Keegan Kinney, Scott Klimak, Taylor Knowles, Cameron Cole, Michael Kostishin, Brian Kroll, Austin LaFleche, Vincent LaGrua, William Lambert, Alex Landers, Andrew Lawrence, Quentin Lee, Kevin Lemke, Caleb Lemley, Alejandro Leon, Joshua Lewis, Robert Lewis, Tanner Lewis, Rick Lindsay, Benjamin Lipniski, Jorge Liriano, Jonathan Liskey, Jacob Lively, Christian Lanos, Gordon Lockwood, Jacob Logue, Billy Long, Terrence Longbreak, Jose Lopez, Logan Lorenz, Bobby Lauer, Wyatt Lucko, John Luffholm, Nathaniel Luker, Philip Lumpkin, Brendan Lynch, Michael Lyon, Jonathan Mabry, Eric McNeil, Rosendo Madrigal, Dale Maines, John Malady, Matthew Maltby, Nicholas Mangum, Andrew Mangus, Scott Manning, Jonathan Martin, Colton Martin, Nicholas Martin, Christian Martinez, Jake Martinez, Timothy Maxon, Devin Mayer, Quintarius McLean, Joshua McCord, Amanda McCormick, Harley McGuffin, Logan McHale, Paxton McVicker, Patrick Medina, Jacob Mears, William Meyer, Caleb Miles, Seamus Miller Burrell, Denny Miller, Jacob Miller, Jonathan Miller, Josh Milwee, Kevin Mobley, Cody Moore, Aaron Mora, Joshua Moreland, Michael Morgan, Deacon Morris, Joshua Morrow, Daniel Mott, Brandon Musia, Lorenzo Murillo, Cody Murphy, James Murray, Nicholas Murray, Colton Nail, Benjamin Nelson, Christopher Nephew, Quan Nguyen, Chris Nuadonsky, Kevin Nolan, Benjamin Nordstrom, James Norman, William Norris, Christopher Norton, Justin Nyurgis, Corey O'Brien, Marcus Obards, Ian Ondeck, Tyler Ormsby, Jared Ostrenga, Stormy Owens, Jonathan Pappenmeyer, Terrence Parker, Michael Parkhurst, Alan Paris, Joseph Patchen, Jeffrey Patrick, Logan Patton, Eric Pearson, Timothy Pearson, Norman Peaser, Philip Perez, Levi Perkins, Paul Perry, Ty Peterson, Brian Peterson, Joseph Phillips, Jared Pilgrim, Autumn Ping, Anthony Pinksaw, Jerome Plair, Riley Poor, Michael Popplewell, Bradley Pora, Joseph Porras, Michael Pauk, Regina Powell, Tanner Powell, Ryan Pronger, Devin Pruitt, Chance Purnell, Desiree Quintanilla, Donald Rabel, Andrew Radford, Joshua Reagan, Joshua Reich, Caleb Rakowski, Michael Rambo, Albert Ramos, Ibis Ramos, Dominic Rangel, Robert Ravina, Damon Rollins, Stephen Reese, Dean Reese, Jason Reese, Thomas Reeves, Stephen Reed, Bradley Rentz, Ron Reyna, Alexander Rice, Robert Richardson Jr., Taylor Riggs, Justin Riley, Clayton Rinker, Miguel Rios Lopez, Matthew Ritchie, Austin Robbins, Dustin Robe, Jared Roberts, Monty Roberts, Brendan Rodriguez, Furman Rodriguez III, Otoniel Rodriguez, Andrea Rowland, Charles Rollins, Daniel Rollins, Thomas Roth, Christopher Rowley, Joshua Rowlett, Edward Rubio, Jesse Russell, Michael Ryan, Ahmed Saker, Joseph Sampson, Angel Sanchez, Zachary Sanchez Bishop, William Sanders, Jacob Sandmeyer, Kevin Sanford, Anthony Santiago, Shane Shake, Richard Schnitzler, Ryan Schaust, Austin Schroeder, Carl Schultz, Sinyon Secker, Tori Shivers, Dakota Shook, Nicholas Schumann, Peyton Seibert, Jesse Silva, Keenan Simpson, Chase Sims, John Singleton, Nathan Sisko, Aaron Skinner, Brock Smith, Christopher Smith, Jason Smith, Joshua Smith, Matthew Smith, Robert Smith, Bradley Snyder, Tristan N. Snyder, Tristan W. Snyder, Jagan Solomon, Christopher Souza, Jonathan Sowards, Alexander Sparrow, Jonathan Spears, Stephen Spiesager, Ethan Springer, Michael Spruill, Matthew Stampfler, Patrick Starr, Andrew Stell, Colton Stevenson, Bryce Stoddard, Kevin Michael Strasser, Kurt Strasser, Patrick Strawbridge, Troy Stromer, Martin Struzik, Nathaniel Stewart, Charles Sturgill, Ewan Sulcer, Christopher Summers, Ralph Surgeon, Devin Sutler, Derek Sutton, Cody Sutter, Johnny Taden, Brennan Taylor, Sean Thiers, Daniel Thomas, Colby Thomason, Coleman Thompson, William Thompson, Michael Teague, Grant Tillian, Grayson Tinsman, Aaron Tomila, Alexander Tran, Tyler Troutweiler, William Trivis, Morgan Tuck, Dylan Tucker, Mitchell Turner, Justin Tweed, Zian Tyler, Jacob Terrell, Nathan Underhill, Brian Varnell, Michael Venson, Matthew Verner, Mike Vernett, Joshua Vaselli, Stephen Vincent, Velma Vining, Jimmy Wade, Nathan Walden, Dalton Walker, Joshua Walker, Justin Walker, Lucas Wareham, Kylie Warren, Nathaniel Warren, Christopher Weekly, Caleb Weatherly, Dane Weatherstein, Andrew Weaver, Aubrey Weaver, Jordan Wells, Hunter Wheeler, Justin Wisnant, Timothy Whitaker, Yuri Wims, Christopher Wiggins, George Wiggins, Dustin Wildrick, Colton Wiley, Jacob Wiley, Justin Willie, Brandon Williams, Gregory Williams, Ross Williams, William Williams, Robert Williamson, Michael Wilmot, Brandon Wilson, Briar Wilson, Nicholas Wilson, James Winstead, Cody Withrow, Richard Witt, Jacob Wolluck, Raymond Wolseffer, Joshua Wood, Zachary Woodruff, Micah Wren, Antonio Wright, Thomas Wright, Ward Wright, Henry Yanez, Dorian York, Joseph Young, Timothy Zenikowski, Sean Zarbis, Eleuterio Zarenda Diaz.
Last but not least, we acknowledge the honorary credentials that the Sonoran Desert Institute confers posthumously. Although no new honorary credentials have been recognized recently, it is with deep respect and gratitude that we remember those whom we have honored in the past. Please join me in a moment of silence to honor their contributions and legacy. Congratulations, graduates. It is both an honor and a privilege to officially confer upon each of you your respective credentials, complete with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities they entail. On behalf of SDI's Career Services Department, I want to remind you of the ongoing support available to you as SDI alumni. Whether you are launching your own business, seeking employment within your industry, or contemplating your next steps, we also want to hear about your successes. Do not hesitate to reach out to our Career Services Department. We are immensely proud of what you have accomplished and are eager to see the contributions you will make to your fields. We also encourage you to stay connected with us. Join the SDI Alumni Group on LinkedIn, where job opportunities are frequently posted. Remember, our support continues even after graduation, so please feel free to call or email us for assistance at any time.
As we close today's ceremony, I'm immensely proud of each of you, our graduates. You've demonstrated exceptional dedication and resilience on your journey to this milestone. Thank you to everyone who has supported our students, faculty, staff, and especially the family and friends. Your support has been crucial to their success. Remember, your journey with SDI continues as alumni. I encourage you to stay connected, share your progress, and keep growing within our community. Go forth with confidence. Use your skills to make meaningful contributions to your fields and communities. We look forward to celebrating all that you accomplish in the future. Congratulations once again on this remarkable achievement.